There we go. You can unpin the other one. Your screen will automatically come in.
You'll have to tell me where that is.
I don't know why it's showing that your screen is pinned right now. Will you unshare for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I want to see. Okay. Now try resharing again.
Okay.
And then just don't. Because pinning the just the radius logo, I think will have it be. There we go.
Perfect. Awesome. I see it's 3:31.
Yeah, we've got a full house packed in here today. So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our session today. We have the lovely Jasmyne Taylor in here from UWM, and she will be talking through VA loans for us today. And so I know we have limited time, and so I will just hand off the baton to her. And so, Jasmyne, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you for coming today. I'm a senior account executive here at UWM. I've been with the company for a little over 3 years now, so I've seen thousands of loans. And I wanted to go over a couple things, not just bore you with a ton of VA guidelines and things like that, because those are going to be the same across the board with most companies, but tell you a couple of things that LoanDesk that can do differently for you and show you the difference between working with a broker and working with retail. So my first task is to show you guys a couple of the VA matrices that we do allow, and then VA qualifications, what we can do for you, also how we can clear your contingencies a lot sooner, and then go into temporary rate buy downs and one other program, the one-time close. So this is our VA matrix. I want you guys to know that we can do 1 to 4 units, just like everyone, up to 100% CLTV and HCLTV as our highest, and our minimal FICO is 580 as of recently, which is really great. So this is really broad, and VA veterans do get a lot more privileges than other borrowers do. So we really try to prioritize them and make sure we can give them the best service as possible. So when it comes to some of their qualifications, we actually allow them to go up to $4 million loan amounts, which is unheard of in the wholesale market. So that's something that we can use to really stand apart from others. Like I said, the 580 FICO is awesome. And then we allow you guys to do these on single and multi-wide manufactured homes, co-ops, condos, PUDs, and one-time closed construction loans, which I will be getting into a little bit later. That's a really exciting program. But one of the key features that most people overlook is the fact that we allow you to waive escrows up to 100% with no fee. So that's really great because you're saving your client and you're letting them bring a little bit less to the closing table, which is great. I know most lenders will charge a little bit for waiving those escrows, but we allow you to do that absolutely free. And then lender and seller paid temporary buy downs are available. So you guys will be able to offer these lower rates, even though the market's in a little bit higher of a spot. And, everybody still has to qualify where the market is, but it's always nice to give your borrower a little bit lower of a payment for the first year or 2 or 3, which I will be touching on that program a little bit further into our presentation. But feel free to take screenshots of these slides. I love for you guys to have them. And I also will be putting my contact information at the end of the slide. That way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I want you to definitely focus on reaching out to the LOs and getting comfortable with them. But I am here as a resource for all of you guys. So if you're qualifying somebody, definitely reach out as well. Quality service. This is the one thing that I believe will set you guys apart from anyone else in the industry, is just how fast we can do VA loans. So of course you're getting constant communication from the loan officers at LoanDesk when you're working with them on these loans. But also we're able to get you pre-approvals. That way you don't have to go into anything with any uncertainties. And not only are these just pre-approvals, these are actual approvals. We're taking the time to approve your assets and income upfront before we even submit your loan. We have really great technology over here that pretty much allows you to run all that information, get it certified by an underwriter, and everything, even when my team isn't working. So your loan officers have access to all of this and can get your approvals on the weekend, which is great. So the turn times are extremely fast. We're looking at same day approvals, next day approvals, and same day closings, which is great. So the same day that you have your clear to close, you could also close that loan that day. So when it comes to rates and pricing, everyone knows that wholesale is a lot more competitive. We pride ourselves, UWM, as being a very competitive VA lender. Um, we try to make sure that our pricing is very competitive for them, as well as the loan officers are able to make things more competitive, even for your clients as well on their end. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes to make sure that your clients are saving as much as possible. We cover appraisals, we do all types of different things that can help. When it comes to the technology, of course, you guys have a lot more control working with LoanDesk. There's ways for us to keep you in the loop during the loan process without you even having to communicate with the loan officer, which is great too, because you could just check something on your phone and see, like, hey, my loan is in underwriting. Hey, my loan is in closing. These things really make it easier for you to communicate with the vet and let them know that, everything is going smoothly. But we are very relationship driven when it comes to making sure that we're taking care of vets. They've served our country and they've done everything that they could to make sure that we're safe. So we want to make sure that we can do everything in our power to help them get into their homes. So that's what we try to do, as well as Loan Desk in quarter 3 had an average of 12 days clear close, which is phenomenal. UWM's average as a company, as the number one lender in the country, is 14.5 days. So they're just faster than our company average, which is really, really good. Now, when it comes to clearing contingencies, this is a really big one amongst the community. One, when it comes to your appraisals, when we have those appraisals to be ordered, I know you guys want them ordered as soon as possible, pretty much. So, what we allow you guys to do is send out your documents, and as soon as your clients sign those documents, we can order that appraisal that same day. So, we're cutting days off at different points in the loan to make sure that you look good and to ensure that everyone does end up getting paid at the end of the day. So, um, on top of that, when it comes to your closing disclosure, for me, what I think of is once the CD goes out, that means everyone is getting paid. That's a good faith sign that this loan is headed in the right direction. So, what we do is we actually shave off 6.5 days on the loan process by getting your CD out the same day as your initial approval. So, your vet will get their loan in, get it submitted, and then if they get their approval that next day, the CD is going out that exact same day as well. And we're the only lender in America that allows you to do this, which is awesome because now you can really stand out against others. You can shave time off and really just do things that other people aren't able to. I know everybody has their flow, and sometimes you want to, or you have clients that want to do 30-day closings, but you can rest assured that your end, the LO's end, is all set and taken care of before we even get to closing. So that's a huge benefit. Now, I do want to get into a little bit of the VA one time close. This is a specialty program that is newer with UWM, but it's awesome because it can help you get in with a lot of builders. I know that agents you guys are getting your phones blown up all the time by loan officers, by clients, by everyone. Everyone's calling you all the time. So my approach is with a lot of my offices is for you guys to start targeting these builders. So builders typically have preferred lenders. They always choose their preferred lender. But this program actually gives you an advantage and gives you something that you could actually market to them. So I'll explain it a little bit. It's basically a way for us to fund the loan before they even start building. So that means now the builder does not have to invest anything in the loan in order to build this home, and they can kick out a ton of homes and still get paid without any skin in the game. So, with the right marketing, this is a phenomenal program, and I'm sure we'll be getting more information to you guys about this. But it goes the loan amount. The highest is 4 million, and for veterans in particular, it's a really great program because, of course, they can go up to 100% financing, and they don't even have to make interest only payments while the home is being built. Typically, the home can be built at we don't want it built longer than 12 months. So you have 12 months to complete the project essentially. But in that time, the vet isn't paying any payments. Those are already rolled in, the interest only payments, which is great. And they could have as low as a 580 FICO. So to allow your clients that, don't always think that they're super qualified for things, let them know, hey, you could actually build your home. That's huge, and that's really marketable in today's age. So VA split entitlement is eligible as well. And then we don't do any rehab construction. So if the home is already renovated, we don't renovate any homes basically. Also, one thing I did want to go over with you guys is the temporary rate buy down. Now, these two programs, the one time close new construction and the temporary rate buy down, they're two programs that can be helpful for everyone. For one, they're good for marketing, and this temporary rate buy down could actually get you guys paid a little bit more on loans that you might not have been getting paid a certain amount on. So, the way I like to paint them, for those of you who don't know what a temporary rate buy down is, it's essentially being able to lock your borrower in at today's market, but allow them to pay a lower rate for the first 1, 2, or 3 years of the loan. So it's not an arm, but it does give them that lower amount to pay each year. And the way this is possible is either the seller or even really anyone, or even the rate could pay for this, or the borrower could pay for this. They pitch in and give the money of the savings. So if you look at this chart, I'll show you. In this example, this is a 3-2-1 buy down. So in the first year, the borrower is going to have a 3.75%. The second year, they'll have a 4.75, and then the third year they'll have a 5.75, and then years 4 through 30 they'll have that 6.75%, which is what we qualified them at. So over here, if you look, you can see what their monthly savings are just in year one, year two, and year three, and then what their yearly savings are. So what we end up doing is just adding up the savings each year. And this is the amount that we would ask for in seller concessions or to be lender paid. So this is a really great program, especially if you have homes that have been on the market for a long time that have had to drop their selling price. If you have someone that's selling a home for say 500,000 and then they price cut it to 400,000, you could say, "Hey, I want to help you make this home a lot more marketable by actually offering a temporary rate buy down." You put it in the description that you're willing to give such and such amount of seller concessions. That way they can raise their price back up and actually make what they intended to make originally. So this program I definitely love. It's great for VA, FHA, and conventional, but it's actually 40% of my loans right now. So most consumers are kind of in a rocky place about where the market is. But if you could tell them that, hey, I can lock you in at a lower rate right now, that way you're not paying what the market is at. And then when the rates come back down, LoanDesk actually has the technology to track the loan and then reach back out to the borrower and notify them when the best time to refinance and actually lock in a lower rate is. So, this is a really great option for your borrowers. I hope you guys take this into consideration. And like I said, I am definitely open to answering any questions when it comes to this. I kept this presentation pretty short and sweet just so you guys can get a little bit of a taste of what we can do for VA. But of course, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. My name is Jasmyne Taylor, and my email is jtaylor5@uwm.com, and my extension is 61009. And then Oops, Joel, did you want to take over?
Yeah, I wanted to open up just for any questions regarding your presentation. Thank you, Jasmine. This was very informative. Does any agents have any questions regarding any of any of this?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for doing this. There's a lot of great information. I had one question regarding the VA one-time close. So let's say, for example, we have clients that want to utilize this program, but they want to they basically want to purchase the land, the land, but tear down the property and rebuild. Are they able to use this one-time close to do that?
Yes, they actually are. So if there's already a home on the property, will actually go in, will demolish the home and things like that. I'm sure there's like an adjustment to the cost doing that, but we are able to do that still. Yes.
Okay. That was my question. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Oh, to piggyback on that, if you could also explain, Jasmine, about purchasing land. Some of the construction programs, you have to already have the land, and on some you could finance it all included.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. So, basically, what you can do with this program, you have two options, or a couple, I guess. So, you can already own the land and then decide that you want to, quote unquote, refinance it and build on the land. It's considered a refinance because you already own it. Or you can purchase the land and build at the same time. So, you have both of those options.
Right, and when you're purchasing, basically you look for a vacant plot of land, you close on that, the agents get all paid out, and then once you close, they start the construction. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep, exactly. So, that loan closes before any building is even started.
Right, but by the
And I'm sure you'll answer your borrower's questions during the building process or just be there as a good contact to them, but they will be working directly with our partner, which is Granite has been around since the beginning of time doing these one-time close loans. They actually are the best at it, so they will be dealing with them directly once the loan closes. So everyone will be paid out. Your hands kind of really will be tied, unless there comes a time when, say, the loan, for example, actually the build takes longer than 12 months. Then we may need to relook at documents, make sure that the borrower is still working, still qualified for this loan, things like that. Then at that point, you may be involved. But outside of that, once the loan closes, you guys are kind of out of the game.
And then one last thing, with this type of loan, I really like this loan. You could also do manufactured house as long as your city allows it, which a lot of cities surprisingly do. You could do manufactured or stick built.
So with us, we don't allow you guys to do the manufactured homes. There may be other companies that allow it,
Mhm.
but for right now, we don't. And for honestly, the main reason is because we rolled this out this year. So we try to roll out everything when we have our I's dotted and our T's crossed, and then we improve it after. So you'll slowly see us start opening up the boxes with certain things, but we really want to master this.
Cool. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Raul.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So going back to, I took a picture of your slide where it says waive escrows up to 100% no fee. Can you kind of go in a little bit more detail about that for those that might not understand?
Yeah. So essentially, say for instance, and I'll go back to that slide because I think it was in the beginning. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so typically, when I say waive escrows or impounds, depending on where you are, and so if they don't want to do that, which a lot of clients don't, they pay it separately, or it may actually make their cash to close a lot less if they don't have to bring it to closing. A lot of companies will charge you a fee to waive those, which means not included in, their monthly payment. We don't charge you a fee for that. So it's really beneficial because now you could just take it out without, messing up the loan or anything like that, and by lowering their closing costs.
This is such a cool program.
I think it's a really, we're actually like known for our VA loans, which is great. It's one of my favorite. I have plenty of loyal clients that only send me VA loans. Like they like conventional, but they only do VA loans. So it's a really good program to become a niche. And then, of course, once it comes time to do refinances, once rates drop just a little bit, you're going to have things like VA IRRRLs coming out of the water. And those loans are really cool too, because, of course, as we know, you don't really need too much. You already have the client's information. So you're not recollecting income or assets or anything like that. You're really just pulling their credit and getting them refinanced into a lower rate. So those will be very beneficial. But I definitely do recommend you guys taking advantage of this. And then one other thing as well, I do recommend getting your clients over to LoanDesk when you're working with them, just because they have the ability to opt your clients out of a lot of the overcalling that your clients will get once we pull their credit. That is like huge because, of course, all these people will be calling your clients, trying to take them from you and just trying to do all these other malicious things, when we can opt them out, and we can opt them out for, I believe it's the next like 5 years, which is great. So when rates come down, say they want to purchase again and they get their credit pulled, nobody.
Savings, the overage gets refunded, right? Or applied to principal, or how does that work again?
I love that question. So it's very different with every lender. With us, say for instance, they don't get to use all of that seller concessions. Then what will happen is that money will actually be credited to the principal balance. So it will always be theirs.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
100%. Anybody else thinking of any questions? I love this. I'm so happy that you guys are, taking something from it. I wanted to make it a little different and not super generic and
And for everyone here, we will create a PDF of this presentation and hand it out to all the agents. This is very informative.
Definitely. And also, I'd love for you guys to start requesting certain things too. So if there's anything in this training that you really like say for example, this temporary rate buy down, it's my baby. I love this program so much. So if you guys wanted an in-depth training on how to sell this and how to prepare yourselves for this, from a real estate standpoint and from a loan officer standpoint, definitely let me know and I will create whatever I need to so we can make sure everybody's coached up on it. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jasmine. And thank you so much to everyone that attended today's room. Just echoing what Joel said, we will be sending out a copy of this presentation in PDF form for you guys to have. So if there are no further questions, we will wrap up today's room. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Tuesday. And we will see you all again soon.
See you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Nice.